Well, where do we even begin? In the first part of this video list series, you guys were incredibly vocal, shall we say, about the role of video game censorship in modern media, and I must say, you were all pretty much on the money with the majority of these games and the reception that they had. But there's one very important thing to know: all of the games that make this list, as well as the first part of this list, are only banned in certain countries, so let's not get bogged down in semantics, because some of these may very well just surprise you. Hello horror fans, and welcome back to the Scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. As always, I'll be your horror host Jack Finch, as today we dive back into the tumultuous and jarring world of video game censorship and take a look at the top 5 games illegal to play, part 2. Roll the clip. As we said previously, the majority of this list may very well surprise you. Censorship is a hot issue, and it's definitely not one that I'll disseminate in this 5-point list video, because simply put, there is too much to it, and even more simply put, it pisses people off. And in some cases, rightly so. But there are some games that are otherwise jolly little unassuming fellows that got straight up banned for some very, very bizarre reasons. Let's take a look, shall we? Kicking off at number 5, Command and Conquer Generals. Yeah, I'm not even kidding, you heard that correctly. Command and Conquer Generals, released way back when in 2003, and the 7th installment in the beloved Command and Conquer series, Kane, what's up my guy, was banned in a certain part of the world and is very much still illegal to play to this day. Which to me is absolutely insane, because, come on, how could you ban an installment of one of the greatest RTS franchises ever made? Well, you see, it turns out a portion of the plot wasn't taken too kindly over in the Asian market. Throughout General's campaign mode, you can either play as the United States, China, or the Global Liberation Army, a decentralized terrorist force that are waging a guerrilla war against both nations. At the beginning of the game, the GLA steal a nuclear warhead and blow up Tiananmen Square, as well as a large portion of Beijing. And later in the game, the GLA destroyed the Three Gorges Dam. And well, it pissed off the Chinese government so much that the entire General series is still banned there till this day. Whew. Coming in at number 4, Bully.
Please say something.
James? What? Who are you? Mom, I thought you told me never to talk to strangers.
Hands down, Bully is one of the greatest video games of my early teenage years, and so it was no surprise that following its release in 2006, it became one of the most controversial releases of all time and was dragged through the mud by a multitude of parent and educator advocacy groups, citing it as glorifying and trivializing bullying and generally being the worst thing that could ever happen to this planet. Of course, Rockstar Games have got broader shoulders than that, and eventually Bully became one of the greatest freeform adventure games ever made, but of course, crazily enough, in some places it became a crime to even sell it. In 2008, a Brazilian judge in Rio Grande do Sul ruled that, based on alleged psychological findings, that the game would be harmful to teenagers and young adults, outright made it a crime to carry Bully that would ensure that anyone caught selling the game would face a daily fine of 1,000 Brazilian real. It was a punishable crime to even play Bully in Brazil for a staggering 8 years, when finally in July 2016 the game was officially re-released and decriminalized for PC and PS4 ports. I wonder what Jimmy would say about that one. Swinging in at number 3, Rule of Rose. This one's a tough one, and even if you want to get your hands on a copy of Rule of Rose, it may well cost you upward of $400. Simply because after its release in 2006, Rule of Rose was the subject of a bizarre moral panic that swept its way across North America and Europe, following Sony's decision to back out of publication at the last minute. Why? Well, simply because of a rumor. A hell of a lot of hysteria and untrue allegations that this game featured children being buried alive, in-game sadomasochism and underage eroticism, all of which are untrue. Rule of Rose is a psychological survival horror game that takes place in 1930s England, revolving around a 19-year-old woman named Jennifer that becomes trapped in a world ruled by young girls, and in all likelihood will never play it unless you want a foot, an arm and a leg to even purchase it. All because of one man, Franco Frattini, who was Justice Minister of the European Union at the time. He took one look at the game, saw that its storyline involved kids, and decided that it was his moral obligation to protect the planet from its violent content. That was sarcasm, by the way. Next up at number 2, Thrill Kill. Man, look at those cutting edge graphics. You know it's a golden oldie when Virgin Interactive is the publishing studio which brought us such incredible classics like Dino Crisis 2 and Carmageddon 64, which are actually really good games. I'm getting nostalgic just thinking about them. But, well, Thrill Kill was a game that was actually, technically, never released. Although, because it was essentially completed before it was cancelled, it has become one of the most widely available unreleased games ever made. Yeah, you heard that right, it only really became a success because it was banned. Let's not beat around the bush. As far as fighting games go, Thrill Kill is a pretty crap game, and the only really interesting thing about it is the controversy that surrounds it. Essentially, it's a BDSM beat 'em up that features several hell demons in gimp suits dismembering each other. Thrill Kill is notable for being the first ever video game to get the ESRB adults only rating for sexual content. The developers behind it essentially tried their hardest to get a banned controversial game, then bootlegged it across the internet, and it worked. Thrill Kill. Not a lot more to it really. Which leads us to our final point, coming in at number 1, Pokemon. Yeah, again, you heard that correctly. In Saudi Arabia, Pokemon, the TCG, Pokemon Go, and its wider Nintendo predecessors are straight up religiously outlawed. Originally, both the electronic and physical versions of the game were straight up morally banned back in 2001 following an edict that considered the cute fluffy pocket monsters a threat to national security. Allegedly, the symbols used to represent energy in the TCG resembled the Star of David and was considered by some as a geopolitical threat that promoted Zionism in the Middle Eastern country. After the rise of Pokemon Go in 2016, some Saudi Arabian clerics renewed the religious fatwa against Pokemon, this time arguing that the game represented forms of gambling which were therefore forbidden in Islam. Another ban was further initiated after 3 men in their mid-20s were caught playing Pokemon Go near the King Abdullah Airport and subsequently arrested for illegally using their phones in a restricted area. Yeah, who knew? However, despite this, it is also important to note that many Saudis ignore this fatwa and freely download a bootleg version of Pokemon Go so they can catch them all. Although there is a very hefty fine attached if you're caught playing Pokemon Go while driving, which is just common sense really. Well, there we have it folks, our part 2 submission for this top 5 scary list. Before we depart, let's read out some of your more creative comments from over the past few days. TM Gaming says, am I an idiot because to me I thought he was Australian? And the only thing I'd have to say to that is, no, you're not an idiot buddy, I'm just not Australian. Although that would be nice. Australia's pretty cool. Alan Hackett says, hi Jack, will you ever do a monster file on The Thing? Just asking, anyway love the videos, bye. Well, thanks for the kind words Alan, and yes, The Thing is very much on my to-do list for the monster files. Keep your eyes peeled for when it's out, because no one can see it, or hear it, or feel it. Well, there we have it horror fans. If you're a fan of this video, video games, or just top 5 scary videos in general, then please be a dear and hit that thumbs up button, as well as that subscribe bell, and we'll be seeing you in the next one. As always, I've been your horror host Jack Finch, you've been watching top 5 scary videos, and until next time, you take it easy.